You know, I remember a while, like not even a while back, like a long time ago when Eureka 7 used to come on to Nami, and like, I didn't know what the hell was going on at the time. You know, all I saw was bright colors, mechas flying around, the power of love being used, and I was like, wow, this is interesting. But I asked, well, it was like something me and my brother like took a glance at though, but he really didn't, watch it all that much, but I did. So I was like, okay, I never got to watch the series. I did watch the series in full, but I wanted to rewatch it all again. So I did so about like it was about in 2 years ago. Yeah, I rewatched the entire series 2 years ago, and I enjoyed my time. Had a great time. I was like, man, there's some stuff about Eureka 7 I missed. I'm glad I got to rewatch it again. So everything was all fine. Everything's all fine, dandy, perfect. All right. Then you get to the movie Eureka 7 Pocketful of Rainbows. Now, I have seen the movie Pocketful of Rainbows also years ago, but that was like, I saw the movie and I didn't get to watch the series and all the way through. But now, now I got the knowledge of the series within my head, and I could say that Pocketful of Rainbows is a weird as hell movie. Like, it's not even like one of those generic things I like to say is like, oh, it's weird to talk about or whatever. No, the movie is weird. It's not. It's like it's its own thing. It's not. It doesn't have like any ties back to the main series. It's not like some kind of like continuity kind of thing. Like it's not some kind of filler movie. It's literally like a whole alternate continuity, and that's what weirds me out because I don't know why they decided to choose a movie. It's like, okay, a movie about the popular series Eureka 7. Like, what we're going to do with it. Okay, let's just make it a movie about its own universe. And that's it. And I'm sitting there like, okay, that's not a terrible idea, but how are you going to execute it in the movie? None of the movie makes, like, for me personally, none of the movie makes any sense, really. None of it. The movie isn't bad. I will say that at least it caught my attention in some way, but the movie is super odd and convoluted for all the wrong reasons. Like a series can be convoluted, and I can find some enjoyment in it because that's one of the main reasons why I like Kingdom Hearts so damn much, because it's literally convoluted as hell, but I like watching it. But I don't know how to. I don't know how to call this one because, like, Pocketful of Rainbows is weird as hell. Like, the whole movie is based around alternate dimensions, the power of dreams. Okay, okay. To be fair, the power of dreams was kind of alluded at in the main series. It just wasn't really railed on upon because apparently in this continuity that Renton and Eureka could share each other's dreams. Now they did some dream diving thing in the main series, but it really wasn't. They really didn't like go that far into it. And I like the full power of dreams thing is weird because like Eureka's a robot now. Like yeah, I gotta explain that Eureka's a robot, and not even just Eureka, but like Anemone is a robot too, and they're created from dreams. Like they're robots created from the dreams, and it's weird because why? Okay. There's like no particular reason why they're exactly just like robots. Because like Eureka and Anime were originally just technically aliens. They were aliens. They're humanoid forms of the Corallians. That's essentially what they are. And I don't know the purpose of making them robots because they're like instead of being humanoid forms of the Corallians, they're humanoid forms of the robot things in this movie called the Azo or the Image. And there's honestly no reason in hell to why they are that way. It's not really it's explained, but like it's explained this weird roundabout way that I'm not even going to bother talking about right now. And then it gets even worse, dude. Like, not only that, but then even the people from like the Gecko State are actually affected by this weird thing as well. Apparently, instead of being like a ragtag group of people on a ship doing odd jobs to make money, is that they are actually children. Like they're clearly adults, but they are children that now rapidly age, and they want to get to the fictional world of Neverland, like Peter Pan's Neverland. I said Wonderland, didn't I? Anyway, they want to get to Peter Pan's Neverland so they can live out, live like that, not die, because they're dying. They're rapidly aging to the point they're going to die from it. And they want to go to Neverland so they can be immortal, like, you know how Peter Pan was. And the worst thing about it is there's no direct connection to, there's no direct connection. All this is just thrown at you. And I'm sitting here like, why would they do this? Why are they freaking making me do all this thinking for this movie that doesn't make any sense? Honestly, the movie doesn't make really any sense. You could probably piece some stuff together, but the movie honestly does not make any sense. It's out of control, honestly. And I don't know why they decide, it doesn't get any worse from that. Some of the members of the Gecko State, mainly Hop and Stoner, they're they try to okay. They try to they were told by Holland that Eureka was this mythical, it was the Wendy of the one of the Wendy, the chosen girl. The chosen girl. They're basically having Renton as the chosen boy and Eureka as the chosen girl, and they will lead them to Neverland. And when they do so, they can get their wish of immortality. Okay, fine. But then Hop and Stoner are like, okay, Holland's words don't sound right. We need to, go figure this out. So Nirvash goes out of control. Eureka goes to figure it out. Then Hop and Stoner come to stop her and say, hey, stop this thing. Why is it acting out of control? Then they literally knock her down. They rip off her clothes just to figure out that, okay, she's not the chosen girl. And then Renton comes around and then he tries to gets a gun out of Hop's hand and crap like that. And then Hop, I forgot which one was which. Which one? It was Hop that shot him. Because Stoner's a dude in the beret. Anyway, Hop shoots Renton in the stomach. And then Holland comes downstairs and tries to wonder what's going on. And then Nirvash, still out of control, slams some kind of piece of metal and just crushes those two to death, which means they get killed in the movie. And I don't like what they did to them in the movie, though. That was just completely out of character. And I get it's an alternate continuity, but it was still completely out of character for them. I'm like, why? But yeah, that's that's what they did to Hop and Stoner. I just feel like I wanted to bring that up because that's the weirdest scene in the movie. And they're funny enough, they just die. They just die and no one mourns their death or says anything else. It just moves on to the rest of the story. I'm like, okay. That's the end of that? Okay. I guess they're dead. And there's even more weirdness to it because Renton's now a military kid. After where Eureka's a robot created from freaking dreams, and character-wise, Eureka doesn't feel like a character anymore. She's more of a prop being moving on the plot. She's now this damsel in distress, whiny baby waifu kind of character, and I just don't like that to her because she was a lot more different than that. She was this character who she was more stoic and everything, but she still wanted to know more about the world around her and even Renton and try to integrate herself into humanity despite her not being human. That was cool about Eureka. And plus her relationship with Renton was, it was built upon. It was more natural and organic. That's the main draw of the series. It's just Renton and Eureka's relationship between one another. In this movie, it just feels kind of forced. Even without context of the series, it still feels forced. Because Renton says, oh, I'm going to protect you, Eureka. I care about you and junk. But then Eureka gets taken away. Then they meet up with each other again and they act like they love each other so much. And then it doesn't feel natural. It just feels oh yeah, they love each other in the main series. So of course they love each other in the movie. And I'm not liking that. That's what bothers the hell out of me about these characters. Like, they just don't feel like they're supposed to. And as again, I said before, alternate continuity, but I am not a fan of what they did to these characters, man. I loved I like all the Eureka 7 characters. I mean, even some of the characters that get on my nerves and they do stupid crap like Holland does, at least, there's like a point where it's like, you know what, maybe Holland isn't that much of a bad guy. Maybe I can care for him a little bit. Even though he's a butthole, I could care for him a little bit, and I do. I don't get that in this movie at all. Like, even Holland is a weird character because, like, I can't even say really Holland's like a character much in this movie because so basically the whole point of him and Tahoe is now they have a kid. And they don't want the child to be affected by the same disease the same problems they're affected from, the whole aging thing. And the kid was seen to be safe near the end of the movie. The kid was like, "Oh no, Holland," because like Holland got pissed off when he found out that Renton and Eureka were enacting the ritual of them gaining like the white knight that will lead them to Neverland, aka Nirvash. And then once they actually freaking escape off, like Renton, like Eureka's like, "You know what? We ain't got time for this. Like, we'll just go," because Renton's like still suffering from like the gunshot wound he got from Hop, and the dude just like broke out of like his hospital bed to try to go rescue Eureka. Eureka actually, there was actually a cool moment in the movie where she freaking pulls out a gun on Neneme, and it was actually okay. Actually, I like that scene though. She was like pissed, like, okay, I just want. What'd she say? She said something about she wanting Renton back. And she actually pulls a freaking gun and is about to shoot freaking an enemy in the head. Like, she doesn't give a damn anymore. And I like that. It was funny to me. And then you get like, and then Renton pops in, the two go off, and then Holland was like all pissed off. It's like, what the hell? They're reenacted a thing. They're supposed to take us to Neverland. What the hell? So, Holland gets into the devilfish and chases off after them, and they get in like the final boss, which is funny enough, Holland himself. And once Holland, because he was pushing himself like to his brink with the devilfish, because the devilfish actually taxes on his mind and kind of kills him, and he pretty much was going to die if he kept fighting Renton and Eureka, because he was like if I don't beat them here, if I don't get them to go bring us to Neverland, then all our goals were for nothing and junk like that. But the one thing I don't like about all of this is like there was no way of how they start the Gecko state. Like, there was like no explanation of how they all started, because like the only thing they really got was like, okay, there was a bunch of kids who gained this rapid aging disease, and that was it. That was like it. That was like pretty much it. And that bothers the hell out of me, man. Like, it honestly does. Sorry about that. Got these messages on my phone. Anyway, that's like the weirdest thing, because like they don't explain how the Gecko state got together. I mean, to be fair, they don't really explain it much in the main series, but it's kind of like, they do the old magazines and stuff like that. That's fair enough. And, the whole government resistance thing. But in this series, they still do it, but like, it's more like, why do they do it? They're pretty much only bound together because of the whole rapid aging thing, And it's so weird because like, it's even cases that some of this stuff doesn't make, like, it's weird because like, hell, even characters like freaking the Dewey, like Dewey Novak, the main antagonist of the original series, like, he just doesn't exist. And like, he was killed by, like, him and Holland aren't even brothers in this series, because Dewey's last name is now Sorenstam or some crap like that. And he wasn't even brothers with Holland in this continuity, because Holland was like a war orphan that murdered murdered Dewey. And and funny enough, Holland Novak was actually like Greg Bayer, like the scientist, that fat scientist. His original name was Holland Novak. And then like the orphan who killed Dewey took the name Holland after freaking Greg Bayer / Holland died. Like, it's so weird. Why would he do that? Why would he change the name for this one instance? That makes no damn sense. Why? Like, they had to find an explanation. Oh, how would Holland get his name or something like that? Okay, explain how Talho got her name, how Moondog got his name, how the other characters got their names. What the frick? Why Holland specifically? Why Greg Bear get changed name to Holland? And there's like even weirder things. Like, you got like God, what was her face? Dominic in an anime. For whatever reason, Dominic is already older than Renton. I can't remember if he was older than Renton in the main series. I think he was, but like, he's like way older because like he was like a grown adult when Renton was just a kid. Don't know why they changed it up. I guess they did that just to give like Renton a mentor figure. But why Dominic? And then Anime is an old woman, despite Dominic being still being like a regular person. Like, he wasn't even that old. And ooh, man, they're so weird. There's so much wrong with this movie. I'm still trying to think about this stuff. Like, I'm still trying to like wrap my head around this stuff because every time I watch the movie, I feel like I just don't learn. And like, oh my god, I got nothing. Like, the stuff gets even worse as the movie goes on because like the Seventh Swell too, like the Seventh Swell, the really important Seventh Swell that everyone made a big deal about in this series, it's pointless. Like, the Seventh Swell means absolutely nothing. It's literally just a light show in this movie. Like the whole purpose of the Seventh Swell was to be like this really powerful thing, but now it's in this movie. It's like, oh, whatever. And they even changed some bunch of stuff that was different from the original series. Like I said before, like all the stuff I mentioned with Holland and the Gecko State and Dewey and all them people, nothing made sense in this movie. Like, nothing makes sense. Like, you could probably find some kind of sense in the movie, but like everything's just so changed around that like none of it, like your mind will keep leading back to the main series, and it just doesn't like make sense. Like, even I even say like Happen Stoner got crushed to freaking death. I don't know, like Happen Stoner got crushed to death. How am I supposed to like justify that to someone? Happen Stoner, who were like relatively minor characters who really didn't mean much in the grand scheme of things, turned into like cruel dudes who literally stripped Eureka just to prove a point, and they got killed by Nirvash, and the things all over the goddamn place. Like they didn't have to change stuff this much. Like, this felt like an experiment, and I think it's one of my main problems with Eureka 7 as a whole. I like the series, but every time they try to do a new series, like a new story with it, it doesn't work. They did it with the movies. They do it with the manga. Okay, to be fair, the Eureka 7 manga ain't that bad, but it's weird. It's dark though. I'll admit that. And to be fair, the same people who made Dead Man Wonderland made the Eureka 7 manga, so I can see why it's so dark. And the High Evolution movies. The original series is fine, but every time they get an attempt to remake the series, they don't do good. The first High Evolution movie had promise at the beginning, but then it just like dropped off. Like, the first High Evolution movie was talk about how Adrock Thurston's backstory, and that was great. That was something that should have been in the main series instead of having Adrock pop up for like 5 minutes and have literally no lines, despite meeting with his son that he couldn't really talk to all that much before he died. Wow. Like, fantastic. But beside all that, yeah, every time they try to remake the Eureka 7 story, they just don't do well, man. They suck at it. Eesh. Whatever. But anyway, going back to Eureka herself, like, I don't get her purpose in the movie. She's just a plot device in the movie. Like, and you could say that for the original series, but like, it felt like she felt more human in the original series. She felt like a character. In this movie, she's just a plot device. The Azo put a freaking password inside Eureka, and then with that password, they're supposed to jump into Neverland along with Renton, and yeah, that's the whole point. They need Eureka with this password, and they need Renton because he's a chosen boy, and he needs to be with Eureka to open the gates to Neverland. Okay, fair enough. Although it's stupid because Eureka's a robot, so what the... Like it's so weird. Like she's an actual robot. Like she's actually called a robot. Like she's one of the Azo, but they call the Azo the robot, like robots. Like the Azo aren't really like anything seen in the series. They're called images, but we don't actually see a physical Azo other than Eureka and Anime. And Anime is a weird case to talk about because she's freaking like she's like a I'm sorry. They're like all humanoid and junk like that. And even like it's just, I got nothing. Just like the whole backstory thing with talking about like an event called the Tragedy of Doha, but even that, like there's like parts of that get stretched a bit because apparently the Tragedy of Doha, it was like an event that triggered over a black hole over the Earth that lasts like about a few seconds, and the Azo have the system to read dreams, but they need the chosen boy and girl to have the same dream in order to complete that task. So basically what they need to do is they're trying to redo the Tragedy of Doha by needing the boy and the girl to open the gates to Neverland. And yeah, that's that. Like that's pretty much it what they really need to do. And they get this like big ass super weapon called the Hammer of God. Like, I can't remember exactly what the Hammer of God was supposed to do. But the whole thing about this story is that they're trying to reenact the story. Like literally, it's a book, and they're reenacting the entire story from that book. They did so in the original Eureka series, but they didn't like completely follow it to the letter. It's the same book, but it's like a different story. And for whatever reason, this movie has a continuity with the original series because, like, at the end of the original Eureka 7 series, like. Eureka and Renton have like their names written on the moon in the heart, and apparently it happens. Is it the same moon as in this continuity? Like it still shows their names written in the heart. So like, it's an alternate continuity, but still connected. And the High Evolution 2 movie kind of kills this because the High Evolution 2 movie pretty much says, "Oh yeah, every series of Eureka 7 is its own universe," and like, oh my god. Eureka 7 wasn't that bad, like goddamn. But anyway, that's beside the point. And like the only reason this even makes any remotely of sense because it's simple. You can boil it down as simple as Renta and Eureka want to get back together. They get back together, join the Gecko State. The only reason Renta even wanted to join up, like back again once Eureka came back, was just so they can have him, go to Neverland. And yeah, there's more to it. I honestly do not want to go through the entire plot because this is a long story, and some of it just don't make sense. Like the movie doesn't matter really. It doesn't matter. Like I got nothing, man. I got nothing for this movie. Like the only thing I can even talk about really, like in like big detail, is like the Larva Nirvash and the ending. Because for whatever reason, Nirvash now is a larva, like not even just like type 0, but type the end. They're both larvas now, and I'm sitting here like, why? Why in the hell are they larvae? There's two of them, but like, why the hell are they larvae? They're like physical robots, and they're larva forms, and they're like, when they activate, they become robots. Okay. But they become their own characters, and they become so annoying to deal with. Like they always do like mew cue, mew cue, like that same sound because that's what the sound they make, and that's the only sound they make that comes out of their freaking mouths, and it's so annoying. And on top of that, it gets even worse in like games. You ever play Super Robot Wars Super Robot Wars Z Saiseihin, and you get to the Eureka 7 chapter, and they only play the events from the movie? Yeah, there you go. Deal with that. And then you got like freaking, it carries over into the High Evolution movies. Why do they like the Larva Nirvashes so much? They sucked. Like they actually like enough the Larva Nirvashes to actually freaking send them into the other universes. And that's some bullcrap. And I hate it. And yeah, that's all I can talk about, really. Like, the Larva Nirvashes, I hate so much. And then there's the ending where I said about them before. They had, like, a big fight. Like, Holland and Renton and Eric had like a big fight. Though really, Eric and Renton really fighting all that much. Just Holland just trying to attack him for like, oh, you took my dream, you took my dreams. And yeah, like he pretty much went on a rampage. It's like, well, if we can't cut our dreams, might as well just kill them. Like it's just like I like how he just led to kill them. He couldn't just go off. He was just like, it's like, you took my dream, you ruined my dream, boy. You ruined my dream. I'm gonna kill you now. Yeah, that sucks. Poor Holland though. You know, he freaking he can't even keep his eyes open because he's losing so much goddamn blood loss just trying to kill them. And he just stops battling. It's like, whoa, Tahoe's pregnant and the child doesn't have the freaking disease with the aging acceleration. So I was like, the end, might as well do that. Like the battle ends so abruptly, and I know I get the whole purpose. Like, oh, Holland's child being born. You know, if he dies, we won't be able to raise it. But like the battle ends so abruptly, and the battle even just doesn't make sense in the first place. Like I get Holland was pissed off that his dreams weren't realized, but he didn't need to kill him though. Like honestly, he didn't really have to go after them and kill him like that. And yeah, that's that. Like, there's more to talk about. Like honestly, there's more to talk about, but I just don't. Like how many minutes have we been talking about? 26 minutes, and I feel like I've just been going in circles. Like, there doesn't like more I could talk about. Like why most of the characters just don't matter. Like the only characters that actually mean any kind of damn in this movie, besides like Renton and Eureka, is what was her name? There was that lady. There was that lady. I cannot remember her name. Like she's an old woman, right? And like the major thing that she was like dude for was with Dewey. He was trying to like AKA flirt with her. But she's like an important part of this movie, which I kind of find funny. She actually was played up as being a super important part of this movie. I just can't remember her name to save my life, man. Like I should know her name, but she was an old woman and she was pretty much playing a part. She was trying to figure out the whole Coda. That's what her name. Her name was Coda something. But yeah, her name was Coda, and she actually plays a big part in this movie. Like even with the parts of Anemone, Anemone just plays the parts of like a prophet. But like you got Coda, like she's like going around, like learning about the legends, going to the Vodarak shrines, etc., talking to Anemone, just trying to figure out what this legend really is. And she plays a part in the role. She doesn't really do anything herself though, but she actually just plays like the part of like a storyteller. And I think that was like her main role was just to be the storyteller of all the Ageha myth. The new Ageha myth. And aka the Ageha myth is like them going to the Neverland. And that was pretty much her role. Other than that, no one else played like a big role. Not even other members of the Gecko State, really. Dominic died at the beginning of the freaking movie, so he really didn't do much. And Anime really didn't do anything regarding action. She did stop time for her and Eureka to talk, so that's something, I guess. Yeah, no one really like when I really think about it, no one actually did anything regarding action in this movie. Like the plot just kind of moves the characters. They don't do anything themselves. Like, they just feel like caricatures of their characters. Like there's like more miscellaneous stuff I want to mention, but this is like at the end. Oh yeah, I didn't talk about the ending of the movie. Yeah, okay. So after the ending of the movie, Renton actually during the fight, during Holland, like Renton was like losing a lot of blood, right? Eric was still in like Nirvash with him. Renton was losing a lot of blood, and the only reason I also said before, the only reason he was losing all that blood is because he got shot by Hap earlier, and he got his hospital. Got Nirvash go to rescue Eureka, and he was still like bleeding from his wounds. So while he's pretty much dying inside the goddamn inside the Nirvash, while he's dying, pretty much dying, it's like I always thought that like Renton died at the end of the movie, and I don't know, I don't think he died at the end of the movie. I think it's like just like after that. But anyway, after all that. I mentioned before the Hammer of God was like a big super weapon, and Nirvash pretty much they pierced the command center. They use the Hammer of God to destroy the command center and kill all the Azo. All the Azo are gone. A ton of people die, and the Azo is gone. Like they it's funny. after all this, they committed mass genocide too. Like right at the end of this movie, they just literally committed mass genocide just to kill all the Azo. They killed like what, millions of people, and this like the last people of the planet, like the survivors, just witnessed the end of the Azo, and the planet goes back to normal. And it's been like what, 45 years since the planet was like the way it was, because it was like 45 years since the Azo arrived, and the planet goes back to normal. But they killed so many people due to a giant flood. So there's that. And for whatever reason, the entire Gecko crew survived. Like they survived the entire fall. Like none of them died. And for whatever reason, at the end of the movie, Renton is now on the coastline of Warsaw. Now, Warsaw was the home of Renton. It was his home, because that was in the original series. I think Warsaw is still his home in the movie too, but that's beside the point. And then he sees Eureka hair. Sorry, I say Eureka hair. He sees Eureka with long hair. Don't know why. She can't talk either. Don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why they negated her like ability to like talk and the hair. Like they look like they aged during their times in Warsaw. They look like they aged, because even Renton looks a little bit older. Don't know if that's because of the animation, but he does look a little older. But he realizes, oh yeah, my gunshot's gone. Larva Nirvash is now giant. And then it was revealed that Eureka has sacrificed her memories in order to save him from being killed, and to stop the Azo as well. But at the process, like, she got turned into a human, which still doesn't explain anything. Like, it doesn't really explain anything. Like, really, like, her whole big is like, oh, well, since she's made from the dreams, she pretty much had a contract with the Azo to sacrifice her memories to save Renton's life. And, like, of all the things they could have done at the end of the movie, why that? Why her memories? Why not Eureka just couldn't die at the end of the movie or some crap like that? Or just like pay a bigger price than that? But anyway, Larva Nirvash goes away, thank freaking God. And then they have like, even though Eureka doesn't have her memories, he knows that they will have a happy, life together. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the end of the movie right there. Like, the end of the movie it's like dumb as hell. Like, I don't even, like, the end of the movie is like, to be fair, the ending credits theme is great, dude. That song is so awesome. But that's beside the point. My main point is that ending sucks. Like basically, for whatever reason, she sacrificed her memories with the Azo. She made a contract with the Azo. It's like, hey, look, I'll sacrifice my memories to save Renton's life. Okay. But funny enough, she killed all the Azo, and then also had like a deal with them to sacrifice her memories in order to save Renton, and it's stupid. Like, I got nothing, man. It's retarded, and I hate it. Oh my God, this movie. This movie is a weird case. Like, weird, like, okay, I can't get over this. I can't get over this. The robots thing, I still can't get over it. Eureka and Anime were created by the Azo as spy robots. They're spy robots. Now, it's different because, well, with Eureka, she was born as a humanoid Corallian. She was born by the Scub Coral, and her main goal was to observe humans. An anime was an artificial one created. So, there was that. She was an artificial Corallian. So she was created, through science, while Eureka was created by the Scub Coral. But this time, they're, like, both in a pair, and they were created by, they're literally robots. And, yeah. And there's a bunch of Neverland references. As I said before, there's a bunch of Neverland references, like Peter Pan, Wendy, because, like, I think they said Wendy was supposed to be Eureka and Peter Pan was supposed to be Renton, that's the chosen boy, the chosen girl. There's that. No, I started talking about Warsaw. No, it wasn't. It wasn't Renton's home. It wasn't Renton's home in the original series. It's just a messed up city. I remember now, because Renton and Eureka's hometown in this show, because they lived together, In the movie, their hometown was Warsaw, but in the original, it was just a ruined city. But I think they had like a war there, which I find enough, it's called Warsaw. And I think that's all I gotta say about all that. There's more to say, but I just don't want to keep pushing this anymore because of that. This movie is draining my brain. This movie is draining my brain. There's like so much more to say. There's even like what they meant. Like there's like a whole thing I could talk about how it could be like related to the main series. But I am not going to talk about that. I'm out of here. Actually, I'm getting out of here. I've ranted for 35 minutes just about this, and I probably just repeated a bunch of stuff. So I'm gone. Now, you know what? There's still more to talk about. Holy crap. I just forgot how many freaking scenes they reused from the goddamn anime with no explanation whatsoever. I even forgot about that. Holy crap. There's like so many scenes in this movie reused from the show. And they actually do that a lot. They even do that in the High Evolution movies. They reused the scene from when, what was it? Renton going in Berserk. And they reused that for a scene in the movie with just Renton doing combat training. Like Bones likes to reuse Eureka 7 clips a lot. They reuse a bunch of like flying around clips they did from the original series. God, there was one where they did Renton attacking the whole Crawlian. God, was that giant spear Eureka was assimilated to at the end of the original series. They reused that for whatever reason, even though the movie didn't call for it. I mean, it's in the movie, but like they reused it. Like, I don't mind reusing scenes, but like when it's from the original show and this is a goddamn movie. Oh yeah, they also reused the scene from the movie about where Renton's Renton's grandfather. And for whatever reason, the children that Eureka found during that wartime is still there. And I don't understand why the kids are there. Like, Eureka didn't even find the kids in this continuity, so I have no freaking idea why they're here. Like, you could just chalk them up and say, okay, this is a different continuity. The children just are here for whatever reason. Hell, for all I know, this could just be this other side of the universe. Or whatever excuse I'm trying to get to justify this. Yeah, they reuse quite a bit from the movie. I mean, from the series. It's so, like, I don't get why the hell this is a goddamn movie where they reuse so much stuff from the show, and I got nothing, man. I got nothing. It's so freaking weird. Like, I wouldn't mind so much if the movie wasn't just stupid. This movie's stupid. Like, okay, like I could totally understand they're reusing stuff from like anything else. I don't freaking know. I got nothing. I got nothing. I'm trying to justify this movie. I'm trying to justify the time I put in this movie. I gotta say something positive. Like, oh yeah, there's like this weird tint with the movie. Like, everything's all darker tint for whatever reason. I don't know if it's because it's a theatrical release or whatever, but why in the hell is everything a darker tint? That I don't get that. I don't know why. I got nothing. I literally don't have anything. It's like, oh, explain to me why this movie's in a darker tint. I got nothing. Oh my god, dude. I got nothing. But hey, the movie was enjoyable for how weird it was. I could have talked more about the other crap. I could have talked more about how Eureka's last name is Zeta or Zeta, how you pronounce that. I call it Zeta, just because that's the the Greek. That's the Greek. Yeah, like her last name is Zeta, which is like a reference to the word Zeta, because that's the number 7 in Greek. Because Eureka 7. That's not funny. I want to joke about it, but that's not funny at all. Like, oh my god! Like I had to attach this in this bit at the end to the end of the movie. I'm sorry. It's just that like I had to attach this to the end of the video because I forgot to talk about all this stuff. Like in like the actual video, I even explained why the hell that during the whole experiments thing, like during the whole God, what's the name of it? During the whole like the tragedy of Doha crap, that Hala and Tahoe, their younger selves, they look just like Norman Sakuya from the TV show. Don't know what's the point of that. Like, again, this is just like taking some moments from the show and just mixing around with different characters. As I mentioned before, Greg Bear is actually Holland Novak in this continuity, but when Holland, like Orphan Holland, kills Greg Bear, who's named Holland Novak, the orphan kid becomes Holland Novak from taking his name. Like, they didn't have to do that. I get they were like orphans with no names, but they didn't really had to have Greg Bear be named that. They could have easily just like, oh, he made up the name Holland Novak. I mean, they didn't explain how Tahoe got her name. They just took the name of freaking Holland Novak, and I guess the only reason he did that was to get the attention of like the Liberation Army. But why would they freaking do that? They were trying to stay undercover. I got nothing. Oh my god, I got nothing. I don't want to talk about the hammer of freaking God. It's a big super weapon that he's going to use to destroy all the Azo, which Eureka and Renton did for them anyway, so there's that. I don't know why. I don't know why. Like, hell, even Charles and Ray were Renton's parents in this version, and they were leading scientists in the tragedy of Doha. Like in the original series, they were just like boarders, but they were also terrorists. This time they're actually Renton's parents, which makes is Axel Thurston even still Renton's grandfather? I saw him like getting the papers on, so he has to still be his grandfather in this movie. I can't remember. I didn't see much of Axel. Like, I think they show him at the beginning of the series. No, sorry, my bad. Beginning of the movie, trying to get Renton's papers signed for the military, and then they actually talk about Charles and Ray. Like, this is like, and I actually did a look for this one. It's actually in like the ending. I think it's like in the uncredited scene or something like that, and they reveal that he was his parents. Like, yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm done. Like, there's just more. There's like references to like Alice's of Wonderland and crap like that, but I think I'm done. That's enough for this movie. Oh yeah, no. There's more. Like freaking God, what's her face? Renton's sister, Diane Thurston. She's actually some doctor now named Yamashita. Again, because these characters aren't related to Renton anymore, they all have different names or different purposes in the series entirely, which is why they call her Professor A. Yamashita. I don't know why they had to. They could have honestly just left her as Diane Thurston. Like, they didn't have to change. So technically, it's like Adrock is. I don't know if they even mentioned Adrock in this movie. Like, it's weird. They just changed some character modes. Like, oh, like this character used to be this character, but now they're this character in this situation. Like, it's. Oh my god, I'm getting out of here. I'm done.